So the new Smash Direct just dropped, and it revealed that the fifth and final fighter for DLC Pack 1 was Byleth, the main character from Fire Emblem Three Houses. To be clear, nobody shouldn't have thought this was going to happen at some point. You can question the timing, except you sorta can't, because the first new story DLC for Three Houses, the game itself, was just revealed on the same day for an early February release, which adds a secret new fourth house with 4 new students, all of which look interesting, so I'm stoked for that. But so the timing is solid because it's been near 6 months since Fire Emblem came out, and this is a great way to get people made aware that they should be jumping back into the game with new content on the horizon. Whether they should have closed out the first fighter paths with such an obvious character is up for debate. I would have hoped they did a twofer, like when they revealed Hero and Banjo at the same time, because while Byleth is inevitable, being from the biggest game of a franchise that has always seen recent main characters entered into Smash, it's not something that generates much excitement. Even if you're stoked for Byleth, you're still like, yeah, alright, cool, what's next though? It's also unfortunate because as far as timing goes, there were other much more sought-after characters who had game-related releases coinciding with this date, like the KH3 Remind DLC is out in a few days, so Sora fans would have gone ballistic. And then the Devil May Cry Twitter posted a thing a couple days ago prior saying, pay attention to these dates, and January 16th was one of the dates, which was the day of the Direct, so everyone got all hyped, but then it turned out they were just adding some freestyle mode to DMC on the Switch, so it was like, okay. As far as what I think of the actual character in the actual game, Byleth is hard to pin down because there's a male and female version like Corrin, but I'm just going to say she because that's who I'll be using, because she does a bunch of different stuff. They gave her the Creator Sword and then 3 additional Heroes relics from the game that are a lance, axe, and bow, most likely to ease people's dismay at yet another sword character. Like, at least this one's got some variety. So she's got long-range lance attacks, a powerful bow that might be good for edgeguarding because it launches pretty well, a super heavy axe that's going to send people up to the stratosphere with any luck, and then some basic sword stuff, but the sword also functions as a chain grapple, which is neat, and you can even spike people trying to edgeguard you when you're recovering with up B because you grapple their bodies and bounce off them and launch them downwards. It's pretty sick. As bemused as anyone might be with her inclusion, I think she'll be fun to use. And again, you knew this was happening. There were 0 signs that pointed to this not happening. One thing that's funny, though, is that in the beginning of the Direct, Sakurai, the creator of Smash, talks about how they worked extra hard to keep this reveal a secret, saying most Nintendo staff didn't even know, which is a good move because they definitely have leakers on staff there, that's a guarantee. But that's such a false hype generator when this is the most expected possible outcome. That'd be like if Pokemon did a Direct and was all like, we guarantee you'll be blown away by this news. We didn't even tell 2/3 of our own staff, but now we reveal to you and them that we are officially working on another Pokemon game. Like, no shit, Game Freak, it certainly wasn't going to be a sequel to Tembo the Badass Elephant. That's why it's annoying to me that people are dislike bombing the Direct and even the Fire Emblem DLC announcement for the actual Fire Emblem game, because they're mad about something they knew was coming. Like, stop being mad. You actually don't get to be mad and also simultaneously claim to be a smart person. The only excuse for anger here is ignorance. You can be bummed that you have to wait another couple months for a shot at a character you're interested in, but try and dial back the pure seething rage for your own sake. That said, I'm laughing at some of the jokes people are making. I saw a picture of the Oops All Berries Captain Crunch cereal where it's just the berries, but it was photoshopped with Sakurai's face and it said, Oops, all Fire Emblem. But if you really think that all Fire Emblem characters are the same, or there's too many, you're factually incorrect. There are now 80 characters in Smash, including Byleth, and 8 of them are Fire Emblem, which is actually less than I thought, because you go for so long hearing people being like, oh my god, this is just a Fire Emblem fighting game. You'd think the roster would be more than 10% Fire Emblem. There are 14 Mario characters, or characters from Mario-related spin-offs like Donkey Kong, which is almost twice as many as Fire Emblem, and Pokemon has the same amount of representatives as Fire Emblem now, with probably another one on the way in the second Fighter Pass. The next highest franchise representation is the Zelda series with 6 characters. These 4 franchises are Nintendo's best-selling franchises. Franchises. Of course, they have the most reps. That's what success gives you, as it should. As far as similarities between Fire Emblem fighters, only 2 of the 8 characters are true echoes, that's Chrom and Lucina. The rest have distinct styles and strengths. Robin's got magic and equipment degradation, Corrin's got dragon shit, Ike is a slow heavy, Marth and Roy have some similar moves but completely different tactics, combos, and speed, and newcomer Byleth literally has 4 different weapons and is completely removed from all of her franchise cohorts on a moveset basis. You can also tell none of the characters are truly the same because they all occupy different slots of pro players' tier lists. Every Fire Emblem character is decidedly better or worse than whichever other Fire Emblem character you compare them to. This game also has 3 different links, but they're also not mechanically interchangeable and operate very differently despite similar looking moves, and so I similarly am not trying to be like, oh my god, why does this game have 3 different versions of the same character? Nintendo said they were focusing on third-party entries for the first Fighter Pass, and some people are saying they broke a promise because they put Byleth in the last slot. LOL, how dramatic can you be? 4 out of 5 slots going to third party sounds like pretty good focusing to me, man. First-party characters are also easy to implement. There's no red tape. Some companies are like, OMG, Nintendo, put our character in Smash, please, senpai. But a lot of them are like, you stay the fuck away from our IP, you crossovers. You're not tainting our brand with your Smash bullshit. But the second Fighter Pass is a thing, and it's going to have not 5 but 6 new characters. So that's 6 more chances for you to be disappointed with an extra character you don't have to buy in a game that already has 74 non-DLC characters, which are absolutely ridiculous numbers to be whining in the vicinity of. Unless you bought the Fighter Pass, but when you make a purchase without knowing the contents, that's a gamble you signed up for, being of sound body and mind, and you're contractually obligated to accept the results. I've personally been okay with the contents of the first Fighter Pass. Joker is a top-tier example of what a DLC character should be, which is popular and good. I hope Fighter Pass 2 has more of that, because most of the rest of the first one have been either popular or good. Banjo and Hero don't do anything for me, but I'm not mad they're around. Terry is pretty good, but I had no idea who he was. And Byleth isn't exciting, but will probably be a fun character. I'm hyped to see what the second pass brings out, if the overall quality stays on this same level, or if they really pull out all the stops. But a word of advice to all you Smash fans out there, please avoid getting emotionally invested in this shit. It's not healthy. It's really not. I feel like so many of you would need fewer anger management classes if you just temper your expectations a little bit. So give that a shot. Well, that's going to do it for this episode. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, you can like, share, and subscribe. Follow me on Twitter at Sunburned Albino. You can consider becoming a channel member if you want to support the channel financially. Like, share, and subscribe, and I will see you guys next time.